Do you know what auxiliary verbs are? Well, they are very important in the Dutch language. There are actually two of them, and you will learn them in this lesson. Before I continue, please like and subscribe to keep up with all the lessons. So, an auxiliary verb is a verb that you will need in combination with another verb when you want to place your sentence in the past tense or any of the other tenses, except for the present tense and the simple past tense. For all the other tenses, you will need an auxiliary verb. And in Dutch, that is called hulpwerkwoord. So hulp means help and werkwoord is a verb. So there can be two, just two, and you will need to remember them because you will need them all the time, one of those two, right? They are to have and to be, in Dutch, hebben and ZIJN. So there are separate lessons for each of these verbs. So these two verbs in their own grammar are needed in combination with the verb that you're working with. So just as an example, to read in English is in Dutch lezen. So if I want to place it in the present perfect tense, which is also called perfectum, then I will say in English, I have read. In Dutch, it is ik heb gelezen. So for this word, you need the auxiliary verb hebben, right, to have. But if you use another verb, and that is the verb to go, in Dutch that is gaan, you will need the other one, and that is to be, to place it in that tense. So to go in Dutch is gaan, and the present perfect tense or perfectum is ik ben gegaan, I have gone. Right, so this time I use the verb to be to place it in that tense. So how to know which one you need? Is it hebben or is it zijn? I cannot tell you because it depends on which verb you're working with. There's no rule for that. So you just have to remember for each of the verbs, it can be a regular verb or an irregular verb. You just have to remember by experience which one is the correct auxiliary verb. So let me give you some examples of other verbs that you will need zijn for as the auxiliary verb. For instance, barsten, that is to crack or burst, right? So if I want to say, my glass has a crack, then I will say, mijn glas is gebarsten, right? I will not say, mijn glas heeft gebarsten. That is incorrect. No, my glass has a crack, that is, mijn glas is gebarsten. So I need the verb zijn, to be, for this one. Another one is to begin, in Dutch is beginnen. If I would say, I have begun, then I will say, ik ben begonnen. So that's another form of to be in the past tense. Another one is to stay, that is blijven. If I want to say, I have stayed, that is, ik ben gebleven. And another one that you will need to be, zijn, as an auxiliary verb is overlijden. That means to die, to pass away. So if I would say that man passed away yesterday, that is, die man is gisteren overleden. So again, to be as the auxiliary verb. Another one is to become, that is worden. So if I want to say, I have become successful, that is, ik ben succesvol geworden. Again, with the verb to be. And the last example for this list is the word to go, that is gaan. And as an example, I have gone outside, ik ben naar buiten gegaan. So, ben gegaan is what I need. That's another form of to be. So what are some examples of auxiliary verbs? To have, that is hebben. Well, for instance, to do is doen. If I want to say I have done, then I will say ik heb gedaan. I have done something great. Ik heb iets geweldigs gedaan. Another one is to drink, that is drinken. I have drunk a glass of wine. Ik heb een glas wijn gedronken. So I need the verb to have, hebben. Another example, to eat in Dutch is eten. I have eaten. Ik heb gegeten. So again, you need to have as an auxiliary verb. Another example, walking in Dutch is lopen. I have walked yesterday. Ik heb gisteren gelopen. So I need to have again. Another one is to drive, that is rijden. I have driven my car yesterday. Ik heb gisteren mijn auto gereden. And the last one in this list, to cycle is fietsen. I have cycled last week. Ik heb vorige week gefietst. So again, to have. There are also some verbs where you can use either to be or to have. It depends on the context, which one you need. So an example of that is to cure. In Dutch, that is genezen. Right? So I can say, I am cured. Ik ben genezen. Or this medicine has cured me. Dit medicijn heeft mij genezen. So it's something I do or something has done it to me, right? So for both you need the same verb, genezen. So it depends on which one you mean to determine which one of those auxiliary verbs you need. Another one is to wash. That is in Dutch, wassen. So I can be washed. Then I will say, ik ben gewassen. Or the dog is washed. De hond is gewassen. But I can also say, I have washed the car. Then I will say, ik heb de auto gewassen. So this time I need to have, because I have done it. Okay, so these are just some examples of each type. There are so many verbs, of course, and you will need to check and also learn by experience which one is the best or the correct one that you will need as an auxiliary verb. Okay, this is what I wanted to teach you in this lesson. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments and I'm happy to respond, and I'll see you in the next lesson.